Good day everyone. Ang topic po natin ngayon ay chapter 13, no? About magnetic properties. Alam ko na may idea na kayo about sa title pa lang, no? Tara, mag-umpisa na natin. So, magnetism, no? Magnetism is a phenomenon by which a material exerts either attractive or repulsive force on another. So kung familiar kayo sa magnet, no, alam naman natin na may attractive tsaka repulsion, ay attraction at repulsion siya, di ba? So ayun, no, basic source of magnetic force of movement of electrically charged particles. Thus magnetic behavior of a material can be traced to the structure of atoms. Electrons in an atom have planetary motion in that they go around the nucleus. This orbital motion and its own spin cause separate magnetic moments, which contribute to the magnetic behavior of materials. Thus, every materials can respond to a magnetic field. No, yung magnet no, meron siyang field, no, that's we called magnetic field. So, however, the manner in which a material responds depends much on its atomic structure and determines whether a materials will be stronger or weakly magnetic. So, ayan. Meron din tayong tinatawag na Bohr magneton. No, yung Bohr magneton is the magnitude of the magnetic dipole moments. No, yung dipole moments na tinutukoy dito, ito yung separation of charge. No, yun yung dipole moment. No. Sabi doon is the magnitude of the magnetic dipole moment of an electron orbiting an atom with such an angular momentum. So, kung makikita nyo dito sa ano natin, na may formula na ginagamit sa pagkuha ng sa Bohr magneton. So, makikita nyo na lang dito. So, ayan. Where Q is the charge of an electron. So, ayan. Planck's constant, mass of electron. Bohr magneton is the most fundamental magnetic moments. So, ayan. Magnetism, no? Meron din tayong tinatawag na magnetic field. No, kung familiar kayo, no? Sabi dito, if a magnetic field is generated by passing current through coil of a length I and number of turns and then the magnetic field strength H unit 8 ano, tapos is given by ito, may formula rin dito na nakalagay sa magnetic field. No, kung alam niyo yung transformer, no, doon, yun, familiar naman kayo sa transformer, no, sa course natin na meron yung magnetic field, ginagamit din yan doon. So, sabi dito magnetic flux density, ayun, meron din yan. Ito is the measure of lines within a medium. It has unit as Weaver or Tesla and defined as, ito naman yung formula niya, B is equal to UH, no, capital H, where U is permeability. It has specific property of a medium and has unit as WB over AM or Henry. So next, relative magnetic permeability, no, is defined as, so ito yung mga formula rin niya na ginagamit. Measure of the degree Marshall can be magnetized. Now Q 0, no, magnetic permeability of vacuum, no. If M magnetization defined as M is defined as, ayan yung mga formula na ginagamit. So next, so dito na meron din tayong mga types of magnetism, no. Meron tayong 3 types of basic magnetism, no. Ito yung una, diamagnetism. Sunod naman paramagnetism. Sunod yung pangatlo, ferromagnetism. Antiferromagnetism and ferromagnetism are considered as subclasses of ferromagnetism. So yung tatlo na yan yung tatlong klase, no, or 3 types of magnetism. And explain natin yan bawat isa. So, yung isa, yung una muna is diamagnetism. Ayan. Diamagnetism, very weak, exists only in presence of an external field o non-permanent. Applied external field acts on atoms of a material, slightly unbalancing their orbiting electrons and creates small magnetic dipoles within atoms which oppose the applied field. This action produces a negative magnetic effect known as diamagnetism. So in short, yung diamagnetism, no, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina na may yung magnetism ay merong attraction and repulsion. Yung diamagnetism, yan yung repulsion, no? Katulad ng mga elements na hindi na-attract sa magnet, no, yung mga hindi na mamagnet, no, kabilang siya sa diamagnetism, tulad ng gold, no, silver, yung mga ganon. Yan. So, dako naman tayo sa paramagnetism. Slightly stronger when an external field is applied. Dipoles line up with the field, resulting a positive magnetization. However, the dipoles do not interact. Materials which exhibit a small positive magnetic susceptibility in the presence of magnetic field are called paramagnetic, and the effect is termed as a paramagnetism. In the absence of external field, the orientation of atomic magnetic moments are random, leading to no net magnetization. So, yung kanina, yung diamagnetism ay nire-repel niya yung mga elements or hindi siya na-attract sa magnet. No, ito namang paramagnetism, no, katulad ng sinabi doon, no, sa una, slightly stronger, no, na-attract siya sa magnet pero hindi ganun kalakas, katulad ng aluminum, na good example, no? Aluminum, pansinin niyo yan pag minamagnet niyo yung aluminum, di ba, parang hindi dumidikit yung magnet doon, di ba? Pero kung titingnan niyo, no, na-attract siya sa magnet pero hindi siya ganun kalakas, So, dako naman tayo sa pangatlo. Yung pangatlo is ferromagnetism. Both dia and paramagnetic materials are considered as a non-magnetic because they exhibit magnetization only in the presence of external field. No, ito yung external field, no, katulad nung sinabi kanina, yung magnetic field na tinatawag. No, doon lang siya na-attract sa external field. Yung ferromagnetism, certain materials possess permanent magnetic moment even in the absence of an external field. This is the result of permanent unpaired dipoles formed from unfilled energy levels. No? These dipoles can easily line up with the imposed magnetic field due to the exchange interaction or mutual reinforcement of the dipoles. There are characteristic of ferromagnetism. So, yung ferromagnetism naman yung no, isa sa mga katulad yung pinag-usapan natin is types of magnetism. Ito yung pinaka strong magnetism, no. Ito yung for example, nakita na ba kayo ng magnet na pinagsama yung dalawang magnet, di ba, malakas yun didikit agad, no. Yun yung isang example ng ferromagnetism. Pag yung magnet sabi mo yung magnet, kaya niya mamagnet agad yung mga lahat ng klase ng metal. So yun, matatawag mo yun na ferromagnetism. Na-attract, no? Na-attract yung mga metal sa magnet, no? Or yung dalawang magnet na nagdidikit agad. Yun ang tinatawag. Ang tawag dun is ferromagnetism. So, dako naman tayo sa type of ferromagnetism. Dipoles line up but in opposite direction, resulting in zero magnetism. Dito sa ferromagnetism, meron dito kung makikita nyo dito sa table, yung magnetic field ng antiferromagnetic no, is alternate, no? Alternate yung magnetic field niya, no? Or magnetic domain na tas sa ferromagnetism naman, ayan, some ceramic materials exhibit net magnetization, no? Kung titingnan nyo rin dito sa table, no, meron din siyang alternate din yung niya, magnetic domain. Ayan, sabi dito below, spin are aligned and anti-parallel but do not cancel. So ayan yung pinagkaiba ng anti-ferromagnetism tsaka ferrimagnetism. So meron din po tayong table dito, no, na at may mga example, no. Yung dia, ayan, yung sign negative, magnitude is small and constant. Example, organic materials, superconducting materials, ayan. Sa para naman, positive, small constant, alkali and transition metals. So, ayan, sa ferro, positive, large function of H, transition metals. So, ayan, mga example, antiferro, positive, small constant, salt transition elements. Ferri, sign positive, large function of H, no? So ayan mga example niya, chromites. So yun po yung mga mga types of magnetism na tinakil natin kanina. Diamagnetism, tapos paramagnetism, tapos ferromagnetism. Ayan yung mga types of magnetism po natin. So dako naman tayo sa next, the influence of temperature in magnetic behavior. Temperature does have definite effect of materials magnetic behavior. With rising temperature, magnitude of the atom thermal vibration increases. This may lead to more randomization of atomic magnetic moment as they are free to rotate. Usually atomic thermal vibration counteract forces between the adjacent atomic dipole moments, resulting in dipole misalignment of some extent, both presence of absent external field. No, so dito po meron din palang na naapektuhan din yung magnet natin or yung behavior ng isang magnet. No, pansinin niyo sa no, yung magnet, kapag nagawa niyo na ba yan, kapag yung nawawala yung pagiging magnetic ng isang magnet kapag naiinitan siya. Hindi ba nawawala yun kapag naiinitan, nabibilad sa araw, bumababa yung pagiging magnetic niya. So yun. So next naman po is magnetic domain. So in addition to susceptibility differences, the different types of magnetism can be distinguished by structure of magnetic dipoles in region called domains. So each domain consists of magnetic moments that are aligned, giving rise to a permanent net magnetic moment per domain. Each of these domain is separated from the rest by domains boundaries, domains walls. Yung domains walls dito na sinasabi, or yung tinatawag din na sabi dito boundaries, also called walls. Ito po yung mga guhit-guhit, yung mga pagitan ng mga araw. Yan yung mga guhit-guhit. So yung domain, yun po yung araw. Ng magnetic domain, yun yung mga araw na nakaturo randomly, nakaturo siya kahit saang direction. Yun yung tinatawag na magnetic domain, yung mga araw. Yan, mga araw, makikita nyo dito sa figure. Ayan. So ayan, nakikita nyo dyan. So yung boundaries, ito yung mga guhit. So So, ayan. So, ayan yung magnetic domain. So, yung example nitong magnetic domain, for example, yung isang magnet, no? Kapag yung magnet na may North Pole tsaka South Pole, no, yung mga ganun, yung mga different na may North tsaka South na direction, di ba may direction yung magnetic field natin, yung ganun. Kapag yun nahati sa gitna, so magkakaroon ulit ng panibagong North tsaka South Pole. So kapag nahati yun, di ba dadami siya into, pag nahati siya hanggang sa pinakamaliit na bahagi niya, so magdidikit-dikit pa rin siya, pero hindi mo na ma-identify kung nasan yung North and South Pole, no? Kaya ito yung example kung makikita nyo sa natin dito sa baba, na dito sa yung may nakasulat na magnetize, no? naka different yung magnetic field niya, or yung magnetic domain niya, yung mga arrow is nakaturo kung saan. So yun yung example. So next is magnetic hysteresis. Now once magnetic saturation has been achieved, a decrease and applied back to zero, result in a microscopically permanent or residual magnetization known as remanence. The corresponding induction BR is called retentivity or remnant induction of magnetic material. This effect, retardation of Marshall, is called hysteresis. Number 2, the magnetic field strength needed to bring the induced magnetization to zero term is coercivity. This must be applied anti-parallel to original field. 3, a further increase in the field in the opposite direction result in a maximum induction. In the opposite direction, the field can once again be reversed and the field magnetization loop can be closed. This loop is known as hysteresis loop or BH plot or MH plot. So kung titingnan nyo dito sa diagram natin, so ayan, yung saturation na tinatawag dyan is itong, kung makikita nyo dito sa may sa may x-axis, kung makikita kayo dyan, dito sa may plus HC, yan yung saturation, yun yung pag-angat nya, ayan, yan yung umangat. Tapos yung naman yung residual magnetization, ito yung ayan yung bumaba papunta sa may ito yung may pababa. So ayan, kung makikita nyo dyan is siya, pababa hanggang papunta sa quadrant 3, tapos tumaas ulit. So ayan yung magnetic hysteresis. So next is magnetic anisotropy. Magnetic anisotropy is the property that confers a preferred direction on the spin of a system which may not be aligned with an external magnetic field as promoted by a Zeeman effect. The term magnetic anisotropy is not a primary unit, although magnetic anisotropy is of utmost importance for soft and especially hard magnetic materials. So yung magnetic anisotropy describe how an object magnetic properties can be different depending on direction. In the simplest case, there is no preferential direction for an object's magnetic moment. It will respond to an applied magnetic field in the same way, regardless of which direction the field is applied. This is known as magnetic isotropy. So yun yung magnetic anisotropy. So next is soft magnetic materials. For soap magnetic materials, no? Ito yung mga yung mga elements or materials na hindi gaanong namamagnet, pero namamagnet pero hindi siya katulad ng para lang siyang katulad ng binanggit kanina na 'di ba meron tayong three types of magnetism, yung diamagnetism, paramagnetism, tsaka ferromagnetism. No, yung ferromagnetism para siyang ferromagnetism, no. Siya? Lang siya, soft magnetic materials na katulad ng sinabi dito, no. So magnetic materials, the smallest possible coercivity. Ayan, nakita po, is a primary goal. It can be reduced from the hysteresis loop, yung katulad ng nabanggit kanina, representation. So medium soap magnetic materials, especially magnetic recording materials, rely on a sufficiently large because of a long-term stability, but sufficient small because of the necessity of frequent of magnetization coercivity and is usually in the range of 10 raised to 4 and 10 raised to 5. So ayun, no, para siyang ferromagnetism. Sabi rin dito, submagnetic and yung magnetic materials or yung soap magnetic materials are those materials that are easily magnetized and demagnetized, no. Niya yun, sabi nga dito na easily magnetized and demagnetized. They typically have intrinsic coercivity less than 1000 AM minus 1 or negative 1. So yun yung yun yung magnetic materials, no? So next, so kung meron tayong soap magnetic materials, meron naman hard magnetic materials. Sabi dito, for understanding the hard magnetic materials, we have to know certain terms. They are as follow: coercivity, capability of ferromagnetic materials to hold up, resist peripheral magnetic field without getting demagnetized. No, yun katulad nung sinabi natin kanina. No, yung 'di ba yung ferromagnetic, no, yun yung pinaka malakas na uri ng magnetism. No, yung sinabi ko, kaya niya agad mamagnet yung isang uri ng ng metal or iron. Sabi rin dito, it is the amount of magnetism that ferromagnetic materials can maintain even after the magnetic field is decreased to zero. No, sabi dito, kapag kahit yung magnetic field niya is bumaba sa zero, kaya niya pa rin ma-maintain or kaya niya pa rin dumikit or mamagnet na yung isang bagay. So yan. So ayan, yun ang makikita nyo sa graph na meron tayong smaller loop area, smaller and coercive force. No, kung mapapansin nyo dito, parang siyang katulad nung kaninang yung pagka-graph niya is parang katulad na sa may magnetic hysteresis, kaso nga lang ito mas lumapad yung niya, lumapad yung nasa y-axis. So ayan, the next. So ayan, magnetic storage. Magnetic storage devices, all data are stored with using magnetized medium, and those types of data save in the medium in the binary form like as 0 and 1. This magnetic storage has also non-volatile storage nature. Today's mostly people are preferred to magnetic medium because on the magnetic storage devices can be performed read-write activities very easily. Magnetic storage devices have huge capacities for storing data at its more attractive point. No, ito yung mga magnetic storage, no. Ito yung mga example niya. Types of magnetic storage devices: hard drive, floppy disk, magnetic tape, no, magnetic drum, Super disk, tsaka MR and super disk and MRAM. So ayan yung mga example ng magnetic storage na yung kung saan tayo store ng familiar naman tayo dito sa mga to. So ayan. So yung next naman po is superconductivity. In theory, this allows electrical energy to be transferred between 2 points with perfect efficiency, losing nothing to heat. Superconductivity is a phenomenon whereby a charge moves through a material without resistance. Complete disappearance of electrical resistance in various solids when they are cooled below a characteristic temperature. This temperature, called transition temperature, varies for different materials but generally is below 20 Kelvin or negative 253 degrees Celsius. No, ito yung yung isang uri ng types of magnetism na ito yung sa pamamagitan ng malamig na temperature. Yung isang materials papalamigin siya ng sobra, no? Tapos sa pamamagitan ng tapos pag pinatong siya dun sa magnet, no, lumulutang siya. Pero kung papanoorin niyo siya sa YouTube, na doon yung makikita yung kung paano siya nangyayari, paano siya nagaganap. So ayun, talagang pero kailangan meron siyang may target temperature siya, no, kung gaano siya kalamig, no, para magawa yung experiment na yun. So discovery, superconductivity was discovered in 1911 by Dutch physicist Kamerlingh Onnes. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1913 for his low temperature research. Kamerlingh was found that the electrical resistivity of a mercury wire disappears suddenly when it is cooled below a temperature of about 4 K or 4 Kelvin, na equivalent ng negative 269 degrees Celsius. Absolute zero is 0 K. The temperature at which all matter loses its disorder. He soon discovered that a superconducting materials can be returned to the normal. So sabi rin dito, saan naman ginagamit yung yung superconductivity? Saan siya pwedeng gamitin? As we don't know quite how high temperature conductors work, the particular application of superconductivity are strictly limited. Mostly they are low temperature, liquid helium cooled superconductors used to make very powerful conducting magnet. This includes the magnets. They stir particles at the Large Hadron Collider at the CERN Particle Physics Laboratory, CERN Particles Physics Laboratory near Geneva, Switzerland. Hospital Magnetic Resonance Imaging or MRI scanners. No, doon siya alam niyo ba yung alam niyo naman siguro yung MRI scanners. No, kung saan pinapasok yung yung tao para ma-identify yung kung ano yung sakit. No, para siyang basta yung isang, yung makikita yung pabilog, yung pabilog, tapos ipapasok doon yung ano, yung tao, scanner, which use the magnetic field generated by superconducting niobium-tin alloy to look the tissues, ay no, bata, to look the tissue structure within the body. So yun yun, dun ginagamit yung superconductivity, no, kung para makita yung ano natin, mga tissues sa ano, sa loob ng katawan natin, kung para mas mabilis kung makita yung mga problem natin sa katawan. So that's all, and thank you.